right, everybody. Welcome to One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I am your host, Kirk DeMars, and I am joined tonight by a special guest, my lovely daughter, Katie Gill.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. He's hit the bottom of the barrel I'm on.
No, 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 no. You're one of the main reasons we have such great photos and content for Sports Soccer Magazine. So we'll just bring up that here real quick. Just things like this photograph of Aaron Schreier from over at Russellville, and just a lot of the other creative ideas through going out and doing photo shoots, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So tell them how many photo shoots we have this week for some issues coming up.
We are going to be doing 55 photo shoots. We had one school that we did on Friday, and we started today. And so today through Thursday, yeah,
Yeah.
about 55.
Today through Thursday, we will have hit all 17 high schools right here in mid-Missouri that we cover in Sports Soccer Magazine. So I think tomorrow will be better because today we walked a lot of stairs.
Lots of stairs. Lots of stairs. We definitely
Yeah,
exercised.
it's not going down the stairs that's so bad, it's going back up when we're
Hmm.
done. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And just hitting another stair
yeah,
after another
hitting another
stair.
stair.
Yeah.
So
Around every corner.
we were at Capital City High School this morning, and then we went on to Jefferson City High School, then to Elias Catholic, and then on to Calvary Lutheran today. Those were the ones that we covered today, and we had a great time with the student athletes. And Katie, I want you to share a little bit about how we as a magazine try to make those photo shoots special for those student athletes.
I think it's kind of just about building a little bit of a relationship with them when we get to see them. We don't get to spend a lot of time with each student, but I don't know, just making the students comfortable with getting their picture taken,
Hmm.
and not taking up a bunch of their time either. We're just trying to be really respectful of the schools and them having the students take the time to get photos. And so I don't know, it's just been really great for me. I love getting to meet all of the kids that we get to feature.
Yeah.
We've just met so many amazing students, and it's kind of cool to see them and what they go on to do. And so yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah,
We've
it's
just met
good.
a lot of great students.
So we plan out quite a bit in advance. And so, like right now, the photo shoots that we're doing this week will cover the July August issue, September October issue, and the November December issue of this year. So we we're out a little bit on those, and the reason why is because of location, right?
Yes,
It's
yeah.
location, location, location. Katie and Jay and our grandkids, they live in Delta, Colorado. So she will come back 2 times a year
Yep.
and we will go out and we will do photo shoots for 3 issues. And then they come back another time during the year and we do photo shoots for the other 3 issues.
Yep.
It's a very, very packed, busy time for those number of days, but again, when we're all done, and obviously when you get to see the different photographs in Sports Soccer Magazine, there's just a lot of work that goes into getting out there and trying to come up with creative ideas because
Yeah.
after you've done 17 schools,
Yeah. And multiple of the same sports.
yeah,
Sometimes you get a really good variety, but you have 17 schools. So, you're going to have the same sport quite a few times. And it's, I think that's probably honestly the most challenging part is just trying to
yeah,
figure out anything new. But it's kind of cool though, because just depending on the student, I mean, you can do the same shot and it's just totally different, with um, how they are in location and everything.
yeah.
So
So I want to talk a little bit about, like the cover again, we've got Erin Schreier from Russellville High School, and she was on the cover. Tell everybody a little bit about what you're looking for when you're trying to come up with a picture like this.
for the cover,
Yeah.
um, so we just try to leave enough. It's usually always a vertical picture, and we just try to leave enough space for the logo up here in the beginning. I don't think I really did a great job about that right off the bat, and so just trying to give our designer enough space up there, and then the words, and sometimes we have busier backgrounds and there's no way around it. um, but trying to just highlight the athlete and keep the busyness to a minimum without having to remove a bunch of buildings and
Yeah.
things like that. So I tend to like having a picture that you can see the student's face pretty well on the front of the cover because I just I like seeing the student's face, you
Yeah.
know. So
And we can look at some different photos too, like we've got with Isaac Green. And Isaac is from St. Elizabeth, and just again trying to not only capture um, a high quality photograph, but also trying to capture a little bit of the personality. And as you can see, Isaac looks very competitive,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so he has his rings on there. Again, just trying to get a little bit of a taste of the personality of the student athlete to go along with the article that's written about him.
yeah,
So, and again, when you're talking about um, things like this picture right here, Sydney Morris from Calvary Lutheran. I'm just kind of trying to come up with a little bit of creativity, and you know, holding a discus up across the face. I mean, it's just again trying to draw attention and to bring out the personality. Why don't you share a little bit about how you're again trying to come up with different shots since we come up with we have so many schools and 3 students per school.
yeah. Well, I actually love when a student has an idea that they want to try, and I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. Because sometimes they've seen something or they just want to do something. And so that's always fun to just go for it and
Hmm.
try. We keep our equipment really minimal. I've had people send me really amazing videos of sports photographers that they're lighting things on fire, and they've got mattresses they're throwing so the student can jump and like hit the mattress, and those are amazing, amazing, epic photos. Um, for what we're doing and kind of how we've set it up with doing so many and not being local, I'm not local anymore, has made it just scale back a little bit. And so when we go and do these shoots, usually I think we have an hour
Hmm.
maybe
Hmm.
at the school, and that's not an hour of shooting by any means at all because we walked all over the place and
Yeah.
to all the different areas. And some students have multiple sports, which I think is so great. If you want to highlight more than one sport, by all means, let's go for it.
Hmm.
We've had a student, was it at Russellville, that was four, was it three or four?
Yeah.
Four, I think, different sports. And that was
Hmm.
really cool. We just kind of took a little snippet of each sport that he did, which was really neat. But we just kind of scale back. So it's literally my camera and a flash. We have a tripod, but I utilize the walking
The
tripod
walking tripod. I
that I can boss around. And
move it here, move it
I
there.
just take his hand, and today I was like, I go that way. Um, so we just keep it really basic. But if you want to show them
Yeah.
these pictures, the weather and the elements can play a huge role in how a photo turns out. So, same exact equipment that I used for the cover shoot and throughout, but it's pretty neat spanning it over the 4 days that we do. I mean, we're in Missouri, and Missouri weather you cannot really figure out,
Yeah.
honestly. And so it's kind of been neat to have that.
And so a photo like this, when you look at that, you can see it looks like it's at night and it's dark, and it looks like all of that's taking place. But the reality is that picture is right just like that, as far as the daylight and the clouds. And so tell everybody what you do. How do you come up with this? I mean, and it's not necessarily a whole bunch of Photoshop. I mean,
Oh no, there's no Photoshop on that. Um, there's some Lightroom editing, obviously, to kind of enhance the drama a little bit, but that's the real sky. Um, and just trying to get the students coloring of their jerseys is kind of one of the main things for me. Trying to keep it true to the colors, not turning her orange into red or whatever that is. And so um, yeah, that's just one flash and just hitting the light right where I wanted to focus on her face and highlighting her glove. Um, and we don't shoot at ideal times during the day either.
Right.
As a photographer, usually you have your favorite, whether it's golden hour or sunrise or, just really great times of day. And we start at like 8:30 in the morning, and we're done sometimes at 4:30 in the afternoon. And so you're just shooting in full sun,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes rain. We had full sun that day and not a lot of clouds. But the blues just really popped, and I liked how those turned out. So
And that's one of the things too, that as we are at different venues, different schools, uh, Katie really tries to accentuate the school colors. Um, if it has a very colorful track, trying to get those photos to really pop. So there again, there's a lot of creativity that goes into it. Keon is, he's showing off all those medals. I mean,
it was
good
impressive.
grief,
His,
that's
his arms were getting tired
arms getting tired.
after holding him up for a while.
And then some of the shots that we get too, it's not just a one-time shot. If there's an action shot in the magazine, usually it requires doing it multiple times. And Katie will tell them up front, all right, you're going to
Do this over
do
and
this over
over
and over
again.
again until we get what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, hey, Melanie, how are you doing? It's nice to have you on the program tonight. I've got, as you can see, I got my daughter here with me, so it's good to have her on here, and she's photographed a few of your kids, and it's been an honor to be able to do that, represent a lot of the student athletes right here in mid Missouri. So
Oh, it's been so neat.
yeah, so some of the photos too, we want to talk about is when it's kind of this dramatic. Talk about the dramatic
Well, so
photographs.
when we were doing this shoot, I think we were in a gym that they were doing testing or something in where there were tables everywhere in the gym. And
Yeah.
so we had an aisle um, to take pictures in. And so sometimes, I mean, I know the dark, edgy type things might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm trying to just throw those in when needed,
Hmm.
and kind of have a variety. So we just blacked it out with the settings on the camera and just really highlighting him. And I mean, you wouldn't know that you were in a gym surrounded literally right next to him with chairs and tables. And
Yeah, literally standing right in between a
yeah,
whole row of chairs on each
yeah,
side. And again, trying to make it look like the environment the best that we possibly
yeah.
can.
And
And
that's the thing that we also, just remembering that we don't always have access to every single sport location, and so um, I'm trying to think of hers. I think were in a gym as
uh-huh.
well. I don't. I feel like they were in a
Yep.
gym as well. So obviously, this is probably one of the most dramatic ones in this issue. Um, but it was a whole mood, and I really liked it. And she was just a very nice
Yeah.
and intense. Like you could tell she could take you down, and it was awesome. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, we had Cameron on the program a few weeks ago and did an interview with her, and she loved her pictures and
Oh, good.
just again, California Pinto right there, Melanie. So we had a great interview with her, and again, just trying to bring out personality of the student athletes. This was in Eldon,
Yeah, so
and
much fun.
you know he has a really cool club cover,
Yeah,
and again, bringing out personality that way. So
yeah. So taking him outside instead of doing, I mean, he was just a great kid and just kind of had, I don't know, in the gym, blacking everything out just wasn't going to work for how his shirt was so fun and just being outside. So obviously we went outside, had buildings in the background and stuff, but like I said, it was on location. So
yeah, and again, talking about the action shots, Matthew Malmstrom, right there, him going over the hurdle. I
it was
mean,
so
just
impressive.
trying to get, a good um, capture of what it is that the student athlete is doing and, their talents. And he had to do that a few
Oh
times.
yeah,
And it was, I'm so glad I don't have
I
to do
know,
stuff like that
I
because
know.
just
Yeah.
wouldn't want to.
Well, we'll have a student be like, "Yeah, I can dunk it." And I'm like, "Well, that's amazing. Can you dunk it like 10 times in a row?" Because I'll probably take, quite a few action shots of that just to get the full um, frames that I
Hmm.
want.
Here's another photo right here from Jefferson City High School, and again, a lot of it has to depend on what's available. They may be having gym class while
Yeah.
we are there for doing the photo
Yeah.
shoots. So sometimes they'll just move on the other side of the court, and we try to create the I guess you would say environment of the
Yeah.
sport that they play the best that we can, and
Or
it's
like today going in volleyball, I think there's pickleball going,
yeah.
they weren't playing, but it was set up for pickleball. And so you just had to kind of move around, which is totally fine. And it's great to be able to do that. So,
Yeah, and me trying to be creative, I thought, oh wow, the pickleball net is down really low. Maybe we can get her on her knees and like she's getting ready to, spike it
giant,
over the top of it. But then, no, that's not
maybe
gonna work.
not. Yeah.
Sometimes we have to talk ourselves out of the creativity there. But um, you know, on the student athletes, this is one question that we get from a lot of people is how do we choose them?
Yeah.
And we are not. As far as Sports Soccer Magazine, what we do is we have a relationship with the schools. We talk to the athletic directors, activities directors, whichever way you want to call it. We speak with them and we just say, we need from the school this time a male student athlete, female student athlete, male student athlete for those three issues. And, or it could be vice versa. And then, if they do multiple sports, these are some that we might be looking for. So then they go through and they choose the student athletes to that I guess best fit what they want to represent the school at that particular time. There are so many kids, so many deserving kids to
Oh,
choose
yeah.
from,
I don't
and
know how they
so
do
I'm
it.
glad we don't have to
Yeah.
do that.
I could not do it.
So we appreciate the athletic directors, activities directors,
Yeah.
the coaches that are also involved in helping select those. It's a big deal, and it's not always. I want you to understand, it's not always the star athlete.
Yeah. Nope.
It's not always a star athlete, and that's what we love about bringing this magazine to you is that we want to tell the story of the student athlete that they're a good athlete in high school. They may not go on to the next level, but they've got a good story, and it's worth giving them some time to be able to share a little bit about them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, any particular ones that you kind of remember, Katie, as far as just standing out, just some of the like heartwarming stories? One I'm thinking of is New Bloomfield,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That was really great to be out there and to get to meet him.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know what issue that was. I'm
I
trying
think
to
it
think.
was a July, August.
Yes, it was last year's July,
Yeah.
August. Yeah. No, it's really neat to get to hear their story. You obviously get to um, kind of know the kids even more once their interview has been done,
Hmm.
and you read their article and stuff. But I feel lucky because I get to put a face
Hmm.
and actually get to meet and interact with the students, even for the short time. But I mean, there have just been so many great kids. I honestly, you put me on the spot.
I
Thank
did.
you.
So you're welcome. That's my job as the
um,
interviewer.
no, there's too many, and
Well, there's different stories like this young man that we're talking about. His father had passed away, and in that same year, his best friend had passed away, and so there was a lot of different things that he was dealing with emotionally, and um, he just had a great attitude,
oh
um,
yeah, he just
full of life.
yeah, and speed.
And speed,
Fastest kid I've
very
ever seen in my
very
entire life.
fast.
I literally turned on my camera to click, and I was just like, "Yeah, you're gonna need to do that again." I was not prepared for that speed.
So
It
fun
was
story
amazing.
about that. Again, we're getting out there and we're trying to get the best shots possible.
Yeah.
And so Katie's like lining up on the track, and we're just telling him to run right next to her. And I can remember Jay saying, "I felt the wind."
Oh yeah, no, you did. It was not a windy day. He was so fast, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and did multiple things. I think he did the long jump as well, which was really neat and fun to see. It's cool when you've got a
Yeah.
different thing. So yeah.
We stretch the limits a little bit, especially when, I'm throwing a ball to football players and, she wants them to run really close to her or catch it really close to
Hmm.
her so she can get an up close shot. And so, that's a lot of pressure on a dad. You know what I'm saying? Trying not
I'm
to
just
get
glad
your
I'm not
daughter
doing it.
hurt.
I've almost been tackled a couple times by a
Almost.
couple football players. I have
You
been
almost got
hit.
hit by a soccer ball by Ethan Blake. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
He's like, "Do you trust me?" I was like, "I don't know." And after that, I was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I really don't know." No, he did a great job. Um, yeah, I've gotten hit in the head with multiple basketballs, and
hmm Trying
so
to get a straight on shot to shoot and it bounces and comes
bounces off.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's normal. So
So, as a portable tripod, you're also trying to watch
you're
the
in the
ball not
line of
hitting
fire.
somebody.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
it's fun.
Tell a little bit about what you and Jay do as far as communicating with the student athletes, because we do their photo shoots and then we send out a questionnaire. Tell a
Yeah.
little bit about that
So
process.
when we originally started the magazine, we would do photo shoots and in-person interviews all at the same time, which was really unique and fun at the time that we had it. That was when we lived here and we were only doing one issue at a time.
Hmm
And then kind of when COVID happened and everything, we kind of had to change a little bit of what we did, which has really worked out and I feel like has been a
hmm
great
Yeah.
um, switch up. But what we do is we'll do our photo shoots, and then Jay is kind of the guy behind the scenes for basically all of what we're doing right
And
now.
you all know Jay. He's been on this program so many different times. And, okay, so we're going to just clarify real quick. I'm a tripod where I, hold, but he's the sassy
He's
tripod.
the sassy
He is
tripod.
the sassy
Yes, we
tripod.
are missing that,
Yeah.
a little bit. We're giving him a break this go around so that he can come and just spend some time with family. So we're taking it on and we're
hmm
doing our best, but we definitely, he's like, he does a lot.
Yes.
So, anyways, Jay will get the student's information and then a parent and guardian information as well. And so, what we're doing because we're shooting so far ahead, um, then closer to the student's issue, he will send a joint email to the student and the parent guardian. And it will have a link with a questionnaire. And actually, this has been really fantastic because even this coming up issue, we had, a parent be able to reach out and be like, just got these new stats in, is there a way
hmm
to add it into the article? And we could, where before we were kind of strapped to,
hmm
what we were doing. And so it's been really great. And it also gives a space for parent guardian to share, which we love. If you're a parent guardian and your student
hmm
is coming up at any of these issues, please jump in there and say something about your student because that, I
hmm
don't know, it's just, I love it.
I think
And
the other thing with it too is it's taken off pressure on the student athlete
yeah,
because some of them, I mean, a face-to-face interview like, we were doing before, they just might get locked up and have a hard time, even being able to respond. You may just get uh, a yes or a no
yeah,
answer, and then, we have to keep digging to try to get more information. So I think this has freed them up to be able to take their time, put their thoughts
yeah.
down, and then we develop the story from there.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And then if you're needing more information, it's really easy to be like, "Hey, can you elaborate on this?" Which we've done a couple times. But for the most part, I mean, everybody does just a fantastic job filling that out. And so then after that's done, Jay sends those off to our different writers and then to himself because he does a lot of the writing. And Paige does a lot of the writing and does a fantastic job. So then they create the article, which is really fun because it kind of gives a different spin,
Mhm.
by each person has a different writing style. And we attach a picture of the student with their email so that they can see their face. Before, we would send like a voice
Mhm.
recording, and then you'd have to go in and transcribe it, and that was my job. That was so much fun. But I know that when we switched over, a couple of our writers were like, "Oh, I loved hearing the kids' voices," and that really kind of helped you see who they were. But now that we have the picture attached, I feel like that kind of gives them a little idea of who they're, writing about. And then it comes back to Jay, and it gets sent off to our editor,
Hmm.
and then she edits, and then it goes to our designer. So it's just it's a cool process. There's a lot of steps in it. So May, June, questionnaires went out yesterday, I think.
Hmm.
You just always have to be just one a little bit ahead of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. We'll have people all the time say, "Oh, that was a great magazine," and well, we're working on the next one now, so
Yeah, there's no
you don't have much
break,
downtime.
no downtime. But that's okay. It
Yeah.
keeps you in the groove of everything, and I feel like that works. So we already have the pictures for the May June issue. We would have shot those in October when we came. Um, so we already have those ready to
Hmm.
go. And
And we got Shelly Shirts joining us
hi,
tonight. Hi, Shelly.
Shelly.
How are you? It's good to have you on here. Getting to hang out with my daughter tonight, Shelly. So it's been a lot of fun and very informative. And again, I just can't say enough about the time and the effort that you put into these photographs, Katie. And one of the things that I think I appreciate more than anything is that after the issue comes out, um, Katie does something a little bit different. She makes available to the student athletes the photography, the photos. She makes that available to each of the student athletes. Why don't you tell them the process and what you do for the kids?
Yeah, so we always let the students know that once your issue has been featured, to reach back out, and you can have full access to the pictures. So we'll just create a gallery. You can download them, you can print them, you can share them, you can do whatever you want. But you have all of those pictures. And so, with that being said, we're shooting them really far in advance, and sometimes it's easy to forget. And so, if you have pictures, what did she say?
I don't know, but we might have to say that Shelley's privileges might be revoked here. She's wanting to see pictures of me from and playing sports. So
It's your hair.
I had hair, and
Kind of long hair.
I did have long hair,
You
and it
did long
was
hair.
kind of auburn red,
Yep.
and
It's a
um,
redhead.
but I'm more aerodynamic now, and I need every bit of help that I can with any form of speed, no wind resistance, none of that. So thank you, Shelley,
Right.
but no,
I agree. I think that should be
not
on
at
there.
all.
So yeah, anyways, if you have pictures or that you didn't get your pictures, then just shoot me an email that we've, or the J, and we can get those for you.
Yeah,
So then
and,
you can just have those, which is nice.
and just give them no charge.
Yeah, no,
She just
we just
does it.
appreciate you guys taking the time to do this, and it's just an honor to have each of these students featured, and just you know, get to know them a little bit and show them off.
Yeah, people ask all the time too. How do we come up with all the different content? And from the very beginning, we've said we pretty much will never run out of content as long as there are high schools and they are playing sports.
Yep.
Because every single year you have a new rotation of student athletes, coaches. Every single year you're going to have kids with different backgrounds, personalities, and we just try to capture that in the photo shoots. I say we. I'm just holding the tripod
Oh,
again,
he
the
does more than
flash.
that. There's
So
sometimes I look at him with like a blank stare, like give me an idea, or I'm trying to explain what I'm wanting and the words aren't coming, and so then they're just having to like. That was today.
well,
He
today
just
was the
keeps
first
he
day. We
just
had to
keeps
get
getting me
going.
caffeine so that I can just keep going. So
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's an honor. We are now in our ninth year,
that's crazy.
Sports Locker Magazine, and again, it's just you know we have different coaches. We have coaching changes. We've had activities or athletic director changes along the way, and so occasionally we'll come up with a little snag where we haven't heard from somebody. Well, there's been an athletic director change and we didn't know about it. So, um, just a few things like that occasionally. Um,
With that being said, these athletic
amazing.
directors, I mean, these schools are just amazing. When we reach out, when he reaches out and says, I need three more students, or sometimes four, or I need three and a coach, I know that there's a lot of legwork that goes on
Hmm.
to get these students there and prepared with all their gear, and they're just they're fantastic. It's been fun to build up those relationships, um, and even
Absolutely.
if you're getting to see them just 2 times a year, it's just cool to see the growth that all of them have had.
Hmm.
So
And
that's fun.
it's a lot of fun too. The magazine we're also able to do just like what we're doing here tonight on this program. A lot of times we will have these student athletes that we feature in the magazine. We'll have them on here and we'll do. That's why we call it One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, because we're just giving you some extra content. Well, tonight we wanted to give you a little bit of extra content since Katie's in town and we're going out and doing all these photo shoots. We wanted you to understand a little bit more the process that we go through, but that's not all of it. I want you to talk a little bit about all the editing and the time that you spend trying to get all the pictures together. And then sometimes it may be just one picture that shows up in the article. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's always fun. No, it's I think we've gone through phases where I've taken a ton of pictures. I've gone through phases where I've really scaled back on pictures. I feel like we've kind of gotten in a good groove now of just finding a good balance for the amount of pictures and time. I mean, most of the time we're spending 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes if it's like a dual
Hmm.
athlete or something like that. But the design, I mean, you're meeting such great kids, and then you get their interview back,
Hmm.
and you're just like, they just knocked it out of the park. And then we have such amazing advertisers, and so you're looking at it and you're like, oh, we can only do one photo, which and that Amanda has just done an outstanding job with that because that's a hard thing to pick. And maybe for me, because I'm more emotionally attached to the process and I've spent more time on these pictures. But that's one thing that I really, why I like to give the pictures to the students because I do spend quite a bit of
Hmm.
time just getting in there and editing them and making them magazine quality. And so, um, you know,
I have to share, and again, we talk about those moments that we share with the student athletes at the school, and a lot of times there's a whole bunch of other kids around watching that are,
yeah,
again, in their physical education class or, something along that line. And just as I was looking at this one right here with Sam from North Callaway, I was just thinking back to about what happened in that. So again, there was a whole bunch of people
yeah,
in
the
there.
gym
We were,
was full. We
yeah,
were having a class.
it was full, but
And
here's
balls were flying
they
everywhere.
were
It was a
everywhere.
war zone.
And so it doesn't look like anybody else is in there, but there's people all around. But the one thing that I remember that was so special with this particular photo shoot is that there was a special needs boy, and he was in the gymnasium at the same time, and he was cheering on Sam.
Yeah.
And a couple of different times, he kind of interrupted
Yeah.
the photo shoot by shooting a basket, and
Showing us
uh,
his moves.
yeah. But then after we got done, we ended up taking a picture of Sam. It's not in here, but Sam with the young man that was
Yeah.
special needs, and he was just he
Oh, I
was he
think
was lit up and made
it
made his
made his
day.
day. It made our day,
Yeah,
And Sam was just it was just really cool for him to be like, yeah, let's get a picture,
yeah.
just shows his character and the school, I mean, it was really neat. So you have those moments, which I think are just, I don't know, they're just super awesome.
Well, what do you know here? We've got
Jay
the
Gill.
DJ Gill live from Colorado, saying what an amazing father-daughter duo. The only thing that would make it even better, Jay, is if you were the third person in this interview.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yep.
we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday.
Yep.
Your family is missing you. Just to tell you all a little bit about, Katie's been here since actually right before the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yep.
Right before the Super
Yep.
Bowl. Uh, my wife Angela, her dad had major surgery, had bone cancer, and had to have his jawbone removed. And so Katie and the kids went with Jay, and he has a part of the company that it's in Iowa. So they drove from Colorado to Iowa, and he spent some time working there. Katie and the kids drove from there to Jefferson City so that they could be here before Angela's dad's surgery, and so they got to spend some time with Grandpa
Yep,
before
which was awesome.
he went in for that. And actually today was the first day that he came back
He
home,
came
and
home.
he's been in the hospital since February 14th,
Yep, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Yep. So uh, he's doing really good, having good reports. So it's
Yeah.
good to have him in his own house.
Oh, it was so great. Yeah,
Yeah.
to see him
So
drinking his chai
yeah.
latte.
So we at the Demar's household, we have had a full house now for 5 weeks, or it will be
Well,
5 weeks
it'll
by
be
the
5 weeks.
by
Yeah,
the time
we're
you
going
guys
on week
go.
4 now.
But I was talking with Katie today. I said it's gonna be rough. Some people would say, "Oh, you're gonna probably be ready for them to go." I know what we're gonna be when they leave is we're gonna. Oh my goodness, it's quiet, and where is everybody? It's just kind of what happened. So we're enjoying our time here together with
Yep.
them, and we're really busy this week. But we wanted to just take a little bit of time tonight to share with you guys a little bit of what we do with the magazine, kind of the heart behind it. Um, the talented individuals like Katie, Jay, Amanda, Kirsten, Paige, Rod, all the
Yeah.
different people, Emily, all the different people involved with bringing this publication together. So we are blessed to be able to do it, and we're glad to be able to bring it to Mid Missouri. And if you guys ever have any comments or anything that you want to make, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to hear from you. Anything else that you want to share?
I don't think so. I feel like we covered
We
a
covered
lot
up,
of
we
it.
covered a bunch. So we just want to thank you guys for again continuing to
Yeah.
support Sports Soccer Magazine, and we appreciate you guys coming on here on a Monday night. You can be doing anything else. Well, we're glad that you're joining us tonight, and we hope that you continue to do that from week to week on every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And we just appreciate you guys and being a part of this. So this is Katie Gill, Katie DeMars Gill. We'll say that. And I am Kirk DeMars, your host. And thank you, Melanie.
Yep.
We appreciate that. So, um, next week we'll have another program. I'm hoping that we can have Jay Gill since he will be in town. We might as well get him back on here. We'll figure out a way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure
Yep.
out a way.
We'll start now.
All right.
Until
So
then.
thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you all. God bless you, and we will see you next week.